Ah, the tournament arc. Almost every shonen/battle anime has one. Some may argue that it's been overused, and I can see where they're coming from. With inadequate pacing, the competitions may seem long and dragged out. Sometimes it seems like an endless chain of pointless battles that doesn't add much to the overall plot. It's rather obvious when the author tries to shoehorn in a tournament arc because he or she thinks that that's what the audience wants and that'd be easy to write. But when done right, tournament arcs can be really epic. The tournament itself could be centered around just about anything. It could be fighting, playing volleyball, or even cooking orgasmic food. This arc is an easy way for the author to pit multiple characters against each other without having to write some antagonizing reason. They can pit friend against friend and classmate against classmate. And it's a great way to not only develop the main character, but to also shed light onto the supporting cast. A good author would use this opportunity to flesh out their characters with meaningful backstories and to define their motivations. Then whether they face victory or defeat, the results will act as a learning experience that they will carry with them for the rest of the series. But rather than it being just one singular arc, what if the tournament was a whole series? Welcome to the Record of Ragnarok. What's up, Bakas? It's your boy Natty Light, and today I'll be giving you my review on the manga Record of Ragnarok. It's a relatively new manga, and despite its hardcore following, I feel like it's not getting the recognition it deserves. Therefore, I want to play my part and hopefully draw more attention to this beastly manga. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. After 7 million years of existence, mankind is about to meet its end. Not because of an incoming asteroid, nor is it because they've killed themselves, but it's due to the fact that their creators, their gods, have decided that it's time. Every 1,000 years, gods from various realms come together to judge whether or not humanity should live. This time they conclude that humanity is past the point of saving. The gods are disgusted at how humans turned out and unanimously agreed to annihilate them. But before they could cast their final judgment, one Valkyrie by the name of Brunhild proposes that the gods gave man a fighting chance. She calls for a series of 1v1 fights where 13 gods will fight 13 human champions. The first side to 7 wins will decide the fate of humanity. In order to protect their pride and to prove they're not afraid of humans, the gods accept this challenge. And thus, mankind's final struggle begins. So that's basically how the manga opens up, and by chapter 2, we already dive straight into the first fight. At first, I was taken aback by the lack of exposition. I thought things felt super rushed and that the authors lacked the ability to world build. But after reading through the manga a little bit more, I now understand why they did what they did. This is a super action-packed, high-octane manga with fighting as a main attraction. The authors aren't trying to sell this off as some intricate, thought-provoking piece. They know that their target audience wants something hype, something that will get them jumping out of their seats. They don't need to waste time creating some special lore because they're using well-known gods such as Zeus and Poseidon. Nor do they need time to establish the motivations of each individual character because what's a bigger motivation than saving mankind? The authors cut straight through the BS and hooks the readers in from the get-go with a thrilling fight. And if you're familiar with my channel at all, then you know I love a good fight. I would say this series is unique in the sense that every match feels like David versus Goliath. In a series like King and Ashura, I often found myself asking who could possibly win between these two unbeatable monsters. While in Record of Ragnarok, it's more me asking, how the fuck is this human going to beat this god? Of course the humans get some help via magical equipment, but still, they're fighting beings that are strong enough to wipe out the human race. And you're telling me that the skinny little boy is strong enough to beat them? This curiosity by itself is already enough to make me want to read through the fights. Then we add on the well choreographed moves and gorgeous art, you can see why a fight junkie like me would be hooked. Everything is just drawn so beautifully, and all the gods use over the top moves, which is to be expected since, well, they're gods. Tensions run high as the humans have to fight in crafty and cautious ways because one false step and they're crushed. And because it's a seinen manga, you can expect blood, lots of it. There will be a lot of slicing, smashing, and impaling. Also, unlike some other mangas, the fights in Record of Ragnarok are easy to follow. Sometimes, when an author draws a fight scene, things just seem too busy. They draw their characters moving at blinding speeds, and it can be hard to tell what's happening. But in Record of Ragnarok, everything is just very fluid, and the actions of each character is made very clear. So the last thing I'll say about the fighting in this manga is that it seems like the combatants are not just challenging each other physically, but they're also challenging each other's ideals. This becomes more apparent in the later matches. In one particular match, you have a god who's known to be a perfectionist. He is revered among his fellow gods as someone who is infallible. To him, failure is not an option. His opponent, however, is humanity's greatest loser. This fighter takes great pride in every battle he's been in and sees every defeat as a chance to grow stronger. It's just cool to see two very opposing views clash against each other. So that's most of what I have to say about the fighting in this manga, which is primarily the reason why you'd be reading it. But there are other things that I do like about this manga. For example, the intriguing backstories of each character. If I haven't said it yet, not only did the authors pick well-known gods, but they also picked historical figures for the human representatives. You have guys like Nikola Tesla, King Leonidas, and Jack the Ripper. Now I know I said earlier that the authors don't waste time crafting unique lore for their characters, but this doesn't mean that they can't add their own little twist. They use what is known about them as a baseline, and then they add in a little razzle-dazzle. It's cool to see the childhood of Jack the Ripper and see what caused him to be the deranged murderer he is. And it's equally as cool to see how Zeus defeated his father to become the king of the gods. Each backstory adds to the hype and gets you more invested into the fights. Alright, so that was my review on the Record of Ragnarok. I know it was a simple and straightforward review, but that perfectly reflects the manga. Like I said, the authors aren't trying to sell you some thought-provoking piece. But if you want a super fun manga that's all about that action with pretty art, then this is the one for you. Now before I let you guys go, I do have a couple announcements. I know a lot of you guys love my explanation videos, but I also know that you guys want my personal opinion on things. That's why I'm starting a series where I'll be doing chapter reviews on the Record of Ragnarok. I chose this series because 1, like I said, I want to give it more exposure, and 2 is because it's a monthly manga. This means that I don't have to stress about doing a review every week and still gives me time to do my other videos. The second announcement that I want to make is the fact that I'm going to start Twitch streaming soon. I'm gathering all the equipment that I need and I hope to be streaming within the next few weeks. I plan to be casually playing games, but I mainly want to do it so that I can chat with you guys. So if you guys want to talk to me about anime, manga, or anything else, then definitely check it out. I'll even be showing my face. The link to my Twitch will be in the description and comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.